Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Spider, and welcome back to another review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Animated Leader Class Megatron. Now, if my voice sounds a little hoarse right now, it's because I'm currently getting over being sick. But I'm making the video anyways, so you better be grateful. Nah, I'm just kidding. Anyways, we're going to start things off by taking a look at the instructions. So let's move them to the side and fold these out, and we'll take a quick look at them. Fold, and I said fold, and there we go. Alright, let's focus in here. So we got a nice picture of Megatron in both his modes, the batteries you need, because yes, you do need batteries for this figure, some words, all the steps you need to know in order to transform the thing, and actually is pretty good instructions. Some more things to know about the figure. Back to the instructions, you got more things you need to know about the figures, more words and whatnot, and that is pretty much it for that. Now, back to Megatron, and he is huge. Also Canadian. Yeah, I actually got this figure from Canada. Well, I got it off of eBay, and it was shipped from Canada, but still. Yeah, that's why, if you're wondering why there are multiple languages on the instructions, that's why. Because in Canada, it's required for them to put multiple languages on their products. I don't know why, but that's what they do. Anywho, enough jibber-jabbering about. Here is Megatron. This figure released back in 2008, and based on its appearance from Transformers Animated. And it is big, and I already said that, but my goodness, this thing is huge. Hopefully I'll be able to do this on camera, because I don't review a lot of leader class figures. I think I've only ever reviewed one prior to this. Anyways, we'll get to the front of the vehicle here, and we got the nice old cockpit, which is made in the translucent red plastic. You can kind of see they even have a little bit of a chair molded in there. It doesn't open up, so it's just a neat little detail that you can't see super well on camera. And then below that is the giant cannon sticking out. Look at this thing. It's huge. You get the side of the copter, which looks pretty cool. You get the top of the copter, which isn't even all in frame. My goodness, this is going to be a struggle. Anyway, so here you got the top of the copter. You got these two engine thrusters, whatever you call them, which look quite nice. You got the tail, which looks a little awkward, but we'll let it slide. And you got the big old rotors, which actually do spin. Yeah. And what's cool about these is that when you spin one, if I can get that in frame, when you spin one of them, hang on, there you go. When you spin one, my hand is blocking it. Hang on, let me do it forward. When you spin one rotor, they both spin. That's really cool. Although unfortunately, it doesn't work great anymore. Unfortunately, age has kind of made the gimmick not work as great as it used to. But if you look up older reviews when the figure was brand new, the gimmick works fine. So it's an age thing. Which sucks, because that's a really cool gimmick of being able to just turn both rotors by just turning one of them. That's really Clark? That's really smart and really clever. Smart and clever. That became Clark. So, yeah, he's just a really cool looking helicopter. He's a Osprey helicopter? Maybe? I don't know. I mean, he's got the two rotors like an Osprey does, but I don't know. It looks a little different. And for all I know, it's a made-up helicopter and isn't based on anything. I don't know. I don't know much about helicopters. That's my dad's thing, not mine. I don't know much about stuff like that. What I do know is that this thing is pretty cool. Kind of hefty, too. I mean, it's not super heavy, but it ain't light either. It's a big old thing. And it does, in fact, have landing gear. You got two on the cannon here, and some back here. And it rolls surprisingly well. Like, it rolls really well. Like, there are some car transformers that don't roll as well as this thing does. So that's nice. I always like a rolling vehicle. So yeah, it's just really cool. It looks a lot like it did in the cartoon as well. Like, the only real inaccuracy that I can think of is the cockpit. See how it's divided into these 3 sections? In the cartoon, it's just 2. And that's it. That's the only inaccuracy. So, yeah, and it's not even a big one. It's just, the cockpit is longer. That's it. And it doesn't even look bad. So, yeah, this thing is really cool. I know I've probably said that like 5 times by now, but, like, it is. Now, I can't speak. Besides the rotors, there's some more gimmicks that the vehicle mode has. You got the big old cannon on the front, if you didn't notice that. Which, yeah, it can actually rotate. So that's cool. And this thing can actually cock and fire. Unfortunately, I don't have the missile anymore, so I can't show it off. But I really do like that it actually cocks back. Excuse me, I like any weapon that actually does that. And the other thing it has is a lights and sound feature. Because back in the day, all leader class figures had lights and sounds. And what's crazy about the lights and sounds is that I still have the original batteries of this thing. Yeah, these are not new. These are the original batteries that came with the figure. You can even see it has Hasbro on there in 2007. Like, how have these things survived all this time? I don't understand. Whoever made these things built them to be invincible. Anyways, enough talking about the batteries. Let's open this figure up and get the batteries inside of it. Alright, I just wanted to show this off in case you're curious. The batteries are stored in here, and you just unscrew these bits, which you already have. You pull them off. Whoops. And then you just pull that off, and that's where the batteries go. Alrighty, so we got the batteries all stored into the vehicle, and you just want to push this little button at the bottom here, and it makes a helicopter flying noise. And as far as I know, that's the only noise it makes. Hang on, let me turn off the music so you can hear it a little bit better. And that's the only noise it makes, in this mode that is. I kind of wish it had a blaster noise, because of the giant cannon, but it works. I like it. It's quite nice. You know, I'm not super huge on sound effects, but as long as they don't compromise the figure, which this doesn't, they're pretty neat. So yeah, I think that is... Oh, wait, actually, I think I forgot to show off. The cockpit also lights up when you do that. I don't think I showed that off. Anyways, I think that is pretty much it for the helicopter mode. And overall, it's big, it's beefy, and I like it. So, if that is all I have to say, and I believe it is, on to the size comparisons. Alright, start off the size comparisons. As always, here it is with a LEGO minifigure. The Pack of Destruction minifigure Mothra. The Pack of Destruction minifigure Godzilla. Alrighty, now into some more relevant size comparisons. Here it is with the Fast Action Battler Night Attack Megatron. Here it is with the 2007 War for Cybertron Megatron. Let's see, I got the cannon. Told you I would. Here it is with the 2007 movie Voyager Blackout. Mainly because they're both helicopters. Although this one dwarfs that one. Alrighty, so here it is with the Transformers Animated Cybertron Mode Ratchet. with the Transformers Animated Deluxe Lockdown. With the Transformers Animated Deluxe Black Arachnia. The Transformers Animated Voyager class Lugnut. You see they're a bit more comparable. The Voyager Animated Blitzwing. You can see that. And finally, here it is with the previous leader class I reviewed, the 2007 Optimus Prime. You can see, even though they're not from the same continuity, they do look pretty cool together. Alright, that's it for the size comparisons. Goodness, that was a long one. Now, it's measuring time. Ooh, boy, I do not look forward to this. This is... Okay. Let's get that through there. I didn't even extend it long enough. Okay. So, from the tail to the tip of the cannon, it's about 13.5 inches. It's quite large. And then at the top here, it's almost 3.5. At the rotors, it's 4 inches. Goodness. Oh, and I guess I should probably do a wingspan. You can see that. That's almost 8 inch from rotor to rotor. Or propeller to propeller, whatever. And my goodness, this thing is big. Alrighty, now that we're done with all that, it is on to the transformation. Whew, this is going to be a workout. Okay, first what you want to do is collapse these rotors, so make sure they're, yeah, make them face that way. And there is a specific way to rotate these. You can see there's a stopper right there, so that's how you know which way you want to rotate it. Here's the side with a stopper on it. This one only has one stopper, so that's how you know that this is the blade that's supposed to rotate. So you just flatten those up, and then you come to the bottom here and you just you pull that all off, which is actually supposed to make a noise, but it didn't for some reason. So you just put that off, pull it off, and set it to the side. And oddly enough, there actually is another landing gear right there, which I don't know why, considering there's already landing gear built into this bit, but yeah, that noise. It was supposed to... A little delayed there, Megatron. Yeah, it was supposed to make that noise way earlier on. Okay. Okay, calm down now. Oh, goodness. Okay. So then you want to take... It's just going to keep making that noise. You want to bring this bit and just pop it up and just bring it back like that. And it actually is on a slider. So you want to slide it down like that, and then put it back so it's a little more compact. That reveals the head. Yep, definitely have to raise up the camera. Oh boy, this thing is huge. Okay, then what you want to do is come to the legs, fold out the feet like that. Then you want to split this bit. So you split it like that. It folds down and then rotates like so. And then just do the same on the other side. Fold, rotate, and you want to split the legs, bring it down, and that collapses into the leg. And then you just want to fold up the landing gear like so. Just fold and fold, and you're done. And then we have the legs, and now the arms. You just want to pull them down, and this little thing plugged into that. And you want to fold out the hands, and they do have to be facing this way in order to fold up properly. And rotate like that, and then you just do the same whole thing on the other side. Then you want to collapse the arm into the body, which will also move these wings. So if you see that, oops, you can't see that because I forgot to do it on the opposite side. So you want to do that. And before we continue, you want to bring this bit back, and it just, you have these little bits there, and these go into these grooves, and it can go on either arm, but I like to put it on this one because that is the one it has in the cartoon. Slide it on, and boom, you got Megatron all transformed. And my arms are tired. Whew! There's Megatron. Man, is he big. Okay. I wonder if I can bring in the camera a bit more. There we are. So yes, here's Megatron. We'll take a look at his articulation. The head can rotate. And that's it. Can't really look up or down for reasons you will see very soon. The arms on a lovely ratchet, and they go, well, they would go all the way around if this didn't get in the way. They don't really go out at all, but this bit does. It does have a bicep rotation, a double bend at the elbow, so he's got a nice full bend there, and a rotation at the wrist. And he does actually have a waist rotation. Although it is quite limited, it just kind of, that's it. Unfortunately, but it's better than nothing. Get the legs, which are also on ratchets, and they kick about that far forward. They kick about that far back. These hip flaps go out, and then can go out that far, so we can do the splits. You do have a above the knee swivel, which is at a slant. That's kind of weird. You have a knee that's about 90 degrees of bend, so not too bad. With the foot, which I guess this counts as toe articulation, kind of. And he does have an ankle tilt, a very, very powerful ankle tilt. My goodness, that's just breaking the ankle at that point. So that is all for the articulation. So he's got quite a bit. It is a little dated, but for the time, it's pretty good. I don't like it. I very much do. So we'll bring him in here, raise up the camera, try not to sneeze, and focus in on the face here, and we have that lovely Megatron face. And I think they did a very nice job of capturing that animated Megatron look. He looks very nice and very menacing. Yeah, a nice old red Decepticon symbol, which is inaccurate, but I don't care. I think the red looks really nice. You got the red and gray here. You got red and black. You got the hands, the forearms. You got the nice red on the side, which unfortunately is not continued on the rest of it, which is a little unfortunate, but whatever. You got these big old tiny little thighs and big old calves. Look at that. He's so big. And then you got the cannon, once again. Which is a little chunky, you know, it's got the whole undercarriage of the helicopter just hanging out there. Which isn't terrible, but it could have been a little better. You got the back, which is not terrible. It does stick out a little far. But honestly, doesn't weigh the figure down at all. Like, he's not going to tip backwards, so it doesn't really bother me all that much. So yeah. Detail-wise, they did an excellent job of capturing Animated Megatron. He really does look a lot like he did in the cartoon. I'm trying to get him on the frame here. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. And as mentioned, he does have the big old cannon, but that's not all he has. He has the swords. Remember, he's got the swords in the cartoon, which are the helicopter blades. So you just pop that off, and it just plugs into the handle. You just take this, you fold down the handle, and you got a sword. And you just plug that into his hand. And Megatron's got a big old sword. Yeah. And he does kind of have the bend in elbow, but that didn't make any sense. The inward elbow bend, but you can rotate the wrist so that he can bend forward. So that's nice. So, yeah, and you can, in fact, have him dual wielding the swords. I mean, come on now. That's just awesome. Again, a giant cannon and 2 swords. What more could you ask for? Maybe for these bits to click in a bit better. Yeah, this, like, it slides in, but it very easily comes apart. So that's a little annoying, but what can you do? Actually, I'll leave that one in there and bump the camera. And just pop this one out. Just put that back on the back. Yeah, whoops, bumping things. It is rather cool. It's got lots of weapons, and then, as always, appreciated. Alrighty, now we should bring him up front here for the next gimmick, the lights and sounds. Just like he did in vehicle mode, he has more here. And once again, I'm gonna pause the music so you can hear it. So you just push this button and that's it. He just has those 3 lines. And it's pretty cool. And he lights up quite a bit. And again, you can see, like, his whole face moves when you push the button. I'm pretty sure that is why he doesn't have a whole lot of head articulation. So that's really cool. So yeah, that's it for lights and sounds, and it is quite nice. I'm not sure if it's the actual voice actor or not. I can't really tell, but it doesn't sound terrible. So yeah, let me stop pointing the sword at the camera. Overall, it's just a really cool Megatron toy. It does have some problems, like the legs kind of go inward and then outward, and that makes it look a little awkward. But it's not bad. It does have some problems, yes, but it's just really, it's just cool. It's cool and fun. And what else would you want in a toy? Especially a big old beefy leader class toy. So yeah, I think that is it for the robot mode. Now we should move on to size comparisons, part 2. Whew! Alright. Transformed all the figures, so let's get into the size comparisons. Starting off once again with the Lego minifigure. And, yeah, it's pretty tiny compared to him. Next up is the Pack Construction minifigure Mothra. The Pack Construction minifigure Godzilla. Alrighty, on to the more relevant size comparisons. Here it is with Night Attack Megatron, who just doesn't want to stand up anymore. It is with the War for Cybertron Megatron. Here it is with the 2007 movie Voyager Blackout. Here it is with the Cybertron Ratchet. I think that's accurate to the show. I forgot to check before I did this review. Here it is with Deluxe Lockdown, and that's not right. He's almost as tall as he is. This is ridiculous. Why is Lockdown so tall? Here he is with the 2007 movie Leader Optimus. He's actually a bit bigger than him. Dang. Optimus is a big boy. Ugh. You know what? Let's get all these guys in here. Let's get all the Decepticon team. Here we are. Here we got Black Arachnia, Blitzwing, and Lugnut. Honestly, all I'm missing is Starscream. And I don't actually have a Starscream. I might just get an animated Starscream just so I can finish up the team. And if I'm going to get that, I might get Bumblebee too, because he looks like a pretty cool toy. As well as animated Jazz. Dang it. I thought these were all the animated figures I'm going to get, but I might end up getting more. Collector's work is never done. But these all look very nice together, even though some of them are not at all in scale. It's Lugnut. Anyways, we'll get these guys out of here. And now, just once again, measuring time. So let's get Megs in here and measure him up. And he is about 8.5 inches tall. Which honestly feels a little short for a leader, or at the very least a classic leader class figure. So yeah, that's honestly my only major complaint with the figure is I wish he was a little taller, like 9 or 10 inches, but it's not that big of an issue. It's just a personal preference. But yeah, that is pretty much it for Leader Class Animated Megatron. And yeah, like I said, it's a cool, fun toy. And honestly, it's just really nice to have a Leader Class Megatron. Because for the longest time, I never had one. I only had Deluxes and Voyagers. So, finally getting a big ol' Megatron to go with my big ol' Optimus makes me a big ol' happy boy. So, yeah. And, oh yeah, I completely forgot to mention how the way the figure transforms is exactly the way he transforms in the show. I completely forgot to mention that. But yeah, they somehow engineered a way for him to transform like he did in the animated cartoon, which is just so cool. Like the way the pieces on the legs like come out and flip down and go into the calves, like that's stand properly. That's how he transforms in the show. That's so cool they were able to engineer him that way. I completely forgot to mention that. But yeah, that's really, really cool. I also like how he's a helicopter. I think that's really cool and unique, because you don't see a lot of helicopter Megatrons. You don't see a lot of helicopter Transformers, honestly. And to me, I I think the dual rotor helicopter mode is actually my favorite Megatron alt mode. Because it's just so unique and makes them look pretty dang cool. Especially how the rotors become the swords. I mean, come on. Any Megatrons that got swords, that gives them a few points in my book. But yeah, overall, really cool toy. Has some problems due to age, but overall, it's pretty fun. It also has a black and purple repaint called the Shadow Blade Megatron, if that interests you. Now, if you wanted this figure, on eBay, it's going for around $50 to $160. So, yeah, it is a lot of money, but at least, unlike with some of the other characters, you're getting a lot more plastic for your buck. So the 100+ price tag feels a little more reasonable on the aftermarket. However, if you wanted one brand new in the box, that's going to be well over $300. So, yeah, in my opinion, don't get it brand new. Just get a pre-owned one like I did. As you can see, it still works perfectly fine. You know, lights and sounds work. So, if you really want this figure, get a pre-owned one, not a brand new one, because that's just ridiculous. And trying to think, I think that's all I've got to say about this figure. Hey, I did a leader class review and it didn't go an hour long. I'm getting better at this. Anyways, that's been it for my review. I hope you all enjoyed. See you later. Sayonara. Bye.